Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the NFL Draft Triple Take presented by UPMC. I'm Mike Prisuta, joined as always by Matt Williamson and Dale Lolley. We are here to give it a third try at forecasting round one of the NFL Draft next month in Detroit. Mock 3.0 as it is. And Dale, I know you probably agree with me. The only thing better than round three is round four.
Oh, without a doubt.
But we can only take them one round at a time, and we're doing the
mock till you drop.
First round for a third time here. I want to remind everyone before we get started that these are the opinions expressed by Matt Williamson, Dale Lolley, and yours truly. Nothing official here, but hey, we're pretty into this stuff, and we feel like you ought to know what we're thinking as we continue counting down the days to the NFL Draft. If you're new to this type of program, I'll just give you a quick review of the parameters. We go through the first round individually, but we break it up into thirds. So we're going to lead off today with Matt Williamson, and then I'll give my take, and then Dale will come in with his picks 1 through 10, and then we'll repeat till we get to the end of the first round. So, Matt, you ready to kick us off?
Yeah, and I went with 4 quarterbacks in a row to lead off. I mean, that's starting to be something you see a lot of. I think the Patriots taking a quarterback at 3, considering the state of their offense right now, is dropping a player into a bad situation. So they get out, accumulate picks. We know the Vikings are not really even hiding it. They're actively pursuing a quarterback, which makes all the sense in the world. They go up and get Drake May, who I think is he's my second favorite quarterback in this draft, but it's a good situation for him. The Raiders are sort of in quarterback no man's land, so they kind of sell the farm to go up to 4 with the Cardinals in my situation. Cardinals were very active trading last year in the first round. More to come on that later when we discuss this. But then Coach Harbaugh sits there at 5 and probably gets the best player in the whole draft, and it just falls right in his lap. So I think the top of this draft is interesting, but you're going to see a lot of the same names, of course. And I also went with Odunze over Neighbors, maybe just because I was sick of seeing the top 8 be so chalky, but he's a little more possession-based, a little more Daniel Jones-friendly, in my opinion. I'm
not resisting the temptation to forecast trades yet, so I'm just taking the draft as chalk. But the one pick that I've really got my eye on is number 5. I think the first 4, I could easily see the first 4 playing out that way. You guys were at the NFL annual meeting in Orlando.
We were.
Did you hear live and in person or see the tape of Jim Harbaugh talking about offensive line and how it's the only position group on the field that depends on no one else? The offensive line is an entity among itself, and it's up to the offensive line to play well. It's not dependent on anyone else. You guys know the kind of football that Michigan played under Jim Harbaugh.
I almost didn't give them Harrison. I mean, Ohio State guy and not a lineman.
I know you're joking, but maybe not.
It crossed my mind, right?
As I said the other day, though, on the drive, if they take an offensive lineman and pass on Marvin Harrison Jr. or one of these top receivers, Justin Herbert might walk into his office, into Harbaugh's office, and punch him in the face.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he would
Maybe
care.
they get out of 5, go down to 8.
Maybe he's thinking there are plenty of receivers to get down the line.
And that may be true, but they don't have
particularly a guy that he's probably pretty familiar with in the second round. But I did switch out the tackle going at number 5. The rest of it pretty much as it had been, Dale.
Yeah, I mean, the names are the names. I mean, that's just, it's a matter of figuring out who goes where. And, I can't argue with any of that. For me, I do have a trade up as well. You'll also see I have Washington now taking J.J. McCarthy. There's starting to be some murmurings about that happening.
You got J.J. McCarthy 2nd overall.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
It's not what I would do, but there are some rumors out there that Washington is enamored with him. And I spoke to some people who were at his pro day
meeting,
and they said his pro day was very impressive. He threw the ball as well as any quarterback in this draft, maybe better than some others. So
probably more frequently than he threw it during the season.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue at all with that. But I'm just telling you, that's what I'm hearing, and there's some momentum building that could be the pick there. But I have 4 quarterbacks going in a row there. I have Minnesota trading up to that number 4 spot. I think if the Patriots had their choice, if Drake May or if Jaden Daniels is there, I think you take him. Mm-hmm. I think he is he's my number 2 quarterback in this draft, and he's dynamic. He's very Lamar Jackson-like. You can build your offense around that guy. The Vikings come up and get Drake May, again, leaving the Chargers with Marvin Harrison Jr., and then the rest of it is pretty chalky with what we've seen. The Jets, again, taking Brock Bowers like I had in my last draft. I just think that makes a lot of sense for them.
Let's take a look at the next third of picks starting at 11th overall, Matt.
Yeah, we got 4 offensive tackles going in this neighborhood. Starting to get into that wide receiver 4 range too. I mean, I thought Thomas to Cincinnati made a lot of sense with Higgins' contract kind of looming at the moment. And you might notice at the very bottom, trade with Steelers. I mentioned the Cardinals earlier. They get out of the early picks and then they come back up to 20 to grab a corner that they desperately need in Terry and Arnold. So you'll notice the Steelers are not in the 20th spot here. They're going to be something to come later here.
So that's a little tease. They are going to still be in the first round.
They are. They went back to 27. Picked up a little goodies in between.
I'm probably a lot like you guys in that I look at the tackle position and the wide receiver position as way deep and personal preference, right? There's not that much separation between number 1 and number 8.
What are you looking for?
Or number 7. Yeah. What are you looking for? I do like the Vikings waiting to get their quarterback. Now we start to see some defensive players hitting the board here. Latham is a guy, I had him previously going to the Chargers at 5. Seattle 16. Same kind of theory that right guy, right place, right time, depending on how you view it. And I went back, you see number 20, the Steelers, Jackson Powers Johnson. I had a tackle the last time we did this, Mims of Georgia, but I don't know. Today I'm thinking get the center, get that solidified, then move on with your draft. I might think something different next week, but that's where I'm going today.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that position. It's just, more recently in our latest triple takes as we're going back through this again, I bumped Graham Barton ahead of Jackson Powers Johnson.
Wow.
His pro day was unbelievable. Unbelievable. In my 11 through 20 here, you see, again, I have the Steelers going tackle here. Talisi Fuaga falls to the Steelers here at 20. I have them taking him. I'm with you, though. I think Letu to the Rams just makes a lot of sense. I mean, he is a Rams-type player. You keep him in L.A., that would make a ton of sense there.
I think there's 3-4 guys, maybe more. Alt is one to Tennessee. Bowers to Indianapolis. Letu to the... Some of this just feels right.
They just make sense. Yeah. And same thing with Denver taking Bo Nix. I mean, that just makes a lot of sense. Maybe they could get him in round 2, but they don't take the chance. They take him here. They really don't have a quarterback option right now, and he would be an immediate starter for them.
Matt, I can't wait to see where you go with the Steelers pick and who the Steelers pick.
Yeah, they go all the way back to 27, pick up some picks in between. It gives them the ability to trade up later. They've got a lot of extra picks through the Deontay Johnson trade, etc., Pickett trade. But I haven't taken Mims at 27. He's a project. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of football, but he's immensely talented. Did pretty well with the Georgia tackle a year ago. Maybe they're a bookend for the next decade. Cooper DeJean is another guy that he hasn't worked out yet, but everyone seems to be kind of forgetting about him, which I think is insane. That's a cover 4 type scheme. He would be all over the back end of that defense for the Eagles. And finished it up with Tyler Guyton to San Francisco, and then the Super Bowl champs gets a defensive lineman they can move all over the line of scrimmage too.
Well, he's one of my favorite guys in this draft. I really have a lot of respect for Robinson. Here's my 21 through 32, and I've got Cooper DeJean at 25, but I'll do my own little tease here as we continue to do our review of the top 5 at each position on Steelers.com. We're going to get to cornerback and safety eventually, and I'm going to move Cooper DeJean out of corner and put him at safety.
That's cheating.
I think I've seen this guy play a lot. I don't know if you guys know, I watch some Big Ten football.
Really?
Time to time. Huh?
I just think he's a more effective guy looking at the ball and going and getting it than he is chasing somebody around.
But he's like a chess piece. He could play in the slot. You could play him at outside corner. You can play him at safety. That's the beauty of a Cooper DeJean. And he takes the ball away. There's a lot of things there. He's now scheduled his workout for April 8th.
Oh, okay.
Which that's going to be key for him. I mean, I expect him to run in the 4.4 somewhere.
Oh, I think he's going to test great. His tape's great. His return skills are elite. I want him kind of being that guy, see ball, go get ball, or go get guy with ball.
He's really good at that.
He's very good at that.
He
Dale,
does look like a Packer to me, too.
take us home with your bottom third here.
Yeah, I get the Cardinals with their trade back. They get Jerzon Newton, or Johnny Newton as he's now known there. They could use a little bit of everything. And I get DeJean going at 22 to the Eagles there. San Francisco gets Nate Wiggins. They could really use that. And another, you see that tackle run continue in that first round with the Kansas City Chiefs taking Kingsley Suamataia at 32. They don't have a left tackle right now. I don't know if he's plug and play, but he's pretty close to. I think he certainly work with it. He can't be any worse than what they lined up with last year at left tackle, and it just makes a lot of sense.
All right, that's going to do it for our third look at round one, but that might not necessarily be the last look at round one, but at least for today as we speak, that's how Matt sees it, that's how Dale sees it, and that's how I see it, at least until next time. I want to remind everybody that you can find quality programming such as what you've just witnessed on all of the Steelers' social media platforms. Thanks for finding us this time, wherever and however you found us. Until next time, for Matt Williamson and Dale Lolley, I'm Mike Prisuta. This has been the NFL Draft Triple Take, Round 1 Mock 3.0, presented by UPMC.